So, how do you like your nuts? Raw or roasted? Hi, I'm Bernice Hunt and I am a brain health specialist. I work with women just like you who are starting to notice a few memory challenges, and I help you to stay sharp so that as you age, you can still travel, have fun with your grandkids, and experience new adventures without missing a beat. As a wellness coach for over 12 years, I finally come to terms with good nutrition. It's a journey. It's a process, and you keep going at it day by day and step by step, and it gets better and better. Now, did you catch my last video? I did a video a few days ago about nuts, and in that video, I was briefly talking about salted versus unsalted nuts and why you should eat what. Okay, so if you didn't watch that, it's still on my Facebook page or my YouTube channel, so you can go check that out about nuts. But today I wanted to talk about raw versus roasted. Okay, so this is the holiday mode. I want to tell you guys right now, I hope you had a very, very happy Thanksgiving Day, and I hope you're having a wonderful Thanksgiving weekend. And we're in holiday mode now, and that makes me think about my mom and what she used to do during the holidays. She would put out dishes of nuts in the shell, and she just had them out. It was more decorative for her, though we really didn't eat very many of them, but that's just what 'tis the season. That's just what she did. She put out nuts, and all of you know the song Chestnuts Roasting. No, I'm not going to sing it. Chestnuts roasting on an open fire, that kind of thing. So nuts are part of this wintry time. And so here's the question. Do they have to be raw to be healthy, or can you eat roasted nuts? Because I can hear some of you saying right now, if I got to eat raw nuts, I ain't doing it. I ain't feeling it. I can't stand it. Whatever the comment is, you don't want to be doing that. So I got good news for you, because when you roast nuts, they keep the same protein value. They keep a lot of the nutrients stay intact, and so you don't destroy all of them completely when you roast them. So roasted nuts can be a thing, but we need to talk about them, because to roast them, you are applying heat. Okay, and one thing it does is it slightly increases the sodium count and also the fat and the calories in them a little bit, but still roasted nuts are very, very healthy, especially if not going to be eating raw ones. Roasted are very, very happy. But let me let you know that when I'm talking about roasted nuts, I'm not talking about the store-bought kind. I'm not talking about those. I'm talking about you roasting your nuts yourself at your home. Okay, homemade roasted nuts. Okay, that's what we're talking about. And because you ask, is there a difference? Yeah, there is. And that's what we're going to talk about as well. Okay, so here it goes. When they're store-bought, as you know, a lot of times they're automatically salted, so they have salt on them. And sometimes they also have sugar and other additives on there that you really don't need on those nuts. But that's how the store-bought nuts come. So you know what? That's how you eat them, right? Okay, so they have other things on them that you don't need. And if you're roasting yourself, you have control over that. The other thing is that roasting, in general, roasting makes your nuts go rancid faster. So if you're buying store-bought roasted nuts, the rancidity in there is probably already starting, and it may be, I don't know how severe it is, depending on how long it's been sitting there, because it does make them go rancid faster once you roast them. Okay, the other thing is you don't have control over temperature and time. If you're buying the store-bought ones, you don't know what they did. So if you're doing them at your house, you have control of that. And as you're going to see, that makes a difference with how healthy the nuts are going to stay, okay? And the other thing is the containers they put them in, because with oxidation and all of that, it matters. The heat matters, but also what matters is light and air, okay? So you want the nuts in containers that are dark, colored or whatever, to keep out the light and all of that. So it matters when you're buying your store-bought ones. All those things matter. And so that's why it is just a better option to roast them yourself. And guess what, guys? it doesn't take a lot. It's actually pretty easy, okay? Now, when you roast your nuts, like I said, you want to eat them in 1 or 2 days. And so that even increases the reasoning for doing them yourself, because you can roast a small batch of them and you can eat them yourselves within 1 or 2 days, and you don't have them sitting there starting to turn rancid. Because guess what, guys? Every oil eventually turns rancid. So you want to make sure you eat it before it does. And the other thing with store-bought, one of the things you should look for is when you open it, if you're going to buy those, when you open it, you need to smell it to see if you can smell any rancidity in there, because it is likely to have already started because they have already been roasted. Okay, so at your home, you can control that. And that is what you need to do. Also, you won't be wasting as much money because you're only going to be roasting what you need. All right. And I'm learning, thank God, I'm learning that this better health thing is actually a journey. Okay. And I keep learning and I keep evolving. And you know what? When it comes to cooking, some people that know me from back in the day, they will be shocked at my attitude toward cooking now, because I never used to have a very good attitude toward cooking because I didn't like to cook. Okay. I cooked because I had to, out of necessity. I had children, I had to cook, they had to eat. Okay. But cooking was not my thing. But now that I'm on this health trek, I am learning to appreciate cooking and also to gain from cooking. And we'll talk about that in a minute, because my philosophy now with a better brain is back to the future. We have to go back, or I shouldn't tell people what they have to do, but you may want to consider going back and doing some things old school to take better care of your brain. And one thing is roasting your own nuts. Okay. So if you thought that you could stay healthy and your brain can stay healthy with you relying totally on someone else cooking all your things for you, you're probably going to be sadly mistaken unless you have supervision of it, either directly or indirectly, okay? Otherwise, you need to be in charge of what's going on your plate, what's going on your mouth. You need to scrutinize the things that you don't make yourself to make sure that those are actually healthy. And that's just how it is, guys. That's just the sign of the times. That's just where we are, what you're going to need to do. And I've come to terms with that. And guess what? I am now starting to enjoy cooking and being in the kitchen more and more. Let me let you know, the latest thing I was doing was making hummus. I was making homemade hummus, and I was just shocked at how easy it was and how it tasted just like that in the store. But it was much healthier because it had no preservatives in it and it was freshly made. Okay. One of the ingredients in hummus, and it's, chickpeas, but one other ingredient I'm using is tahini paste. Okay. So tahini, and I had bought some tahini a few months back, but I used up all of it. But I learned that I could make my own tahini, which I did. Yes. Shocking as it is. Yes, I did. And I found out that it was simple, didn't cost me anything because I already had the sesame seeds in my kitchen. Okay. And so I toasted them, which didn't take any time at all. You're just talking a couple of minutes. And then I put them in my food processor and I ground them up and ended up with tahini paste, put it in with, my chickpeas and stuff, and ended up having delicious hummus. And so I learned also from that experience that I wasn't just getting the nutrition from, the hummus and from the tahini and stuff, but I was also getting an experience with exercise and with engagement, which is all stimulating my brain. All those things combined were giving me a better brain, because when you cook, you're doing problem solving, you're doing measuring, you're doing coordination, you're doing movement, you're interacting, you have the smells and the aromas and things. You have social interaction, because you're eventually most likely going to share it or talk to people about it or whatever you're doing. It's just a wonderful experience, in addition to the nutritional benefits that you're getting from doing it homemade. Okay, and so I was just enthralled at all the things that I was getting from just that cooking experience. So guys, I am changing my ways. Yes, I am. And you can too. If you already love to cook, then God bless you. You're already on the right track. If not, don't knock it. Give it a try because it is going to help you with having a better brain. Okay. So the bottom line with roasted nuts is that you should, whenever possible, roast them yourself at home. Guys, it is not difficult. Okay. Number 2, if you're going to buy the store-bought kind, you need to check out some things. You check out what container it's in. You need to check out what additives or salts or sugar is added on. You need to also not get a whole lot of it because it's already going rancid and you don't want to have that go on and on and on. And you also need to think about the container that is coming in, so you're not getting more and more exposure to what's going to make the carcinogens and the toxins that you don't need in your body. Okay, that's if you decide that you are going to buy them, which I really don't suggest because, like I said, it's very, very easy to make on your own. What else? Oh, I wanted to tell you that it's not an all or none type of thing, raw versus roasted. All right. Don't think because you're going to switch and exchange from eating raw to eating roasted, because raw is still healthy, a little bit healthier for you, and you don't have to worry about the heat and the increased rancidity and all of that kind of stuff. So we don't want to throw away the raw nuts. You want to combine them. You want to eat your raw nuts, and if you don't like it, just, do a little, whatever you can. But you want to continue eating your raw nuts, but you also can have the roasted nuts, and a lot of it in meals and recipes call for roasted nuts. You don't have to go buy them, guys. You can roast them as needed yourself. Okay. So if you want to know about some nutritional benefits of various nuts, I have that in my research library that's on my website, keepyourbrainsharp.com. But I wanted to end this with some appreciation because this is the Thanksgiving season, guys, and I am so thankful. I am so appreciative of all the support that you have given me since I started this. I think this is the second year that we've been doing this, and I really appreciate all the support. I appreciate the encouragement. I appreciate the feedback. I appreciate the following. I appreciate the subscribers. I appreciate all of you, and I do not take it for granted. And I know, you guys, that you know that this is video number 200. So I've been doing these videos twice a week for a while, and this is number 200. And truly, honestly speaking, I'm not sure that I would have kept it up and been as consistent as I've been without your feedback, support, and encouragement. So I just needed to tell you that I do so value the time that you give to me. And I hope that it continues, and I hope it just gets gooder and gooder. And I want you to know, as always, your brain's destiny is in your hands. So God bless you. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving weekend.